Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli. Watch the greenbacks
tumble. Everyone all set, cocked, locked, blissed. Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We're delighted you're here. And we're broadcasting 2 hours today from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. Dr. Shealy, are you blissed?
I'm blessed. You have to be these days.
You're not kidding. Class, if you'd like to call in and talk to Dr. Norman Shealy, medical doctor, we'll be glad to pay for the call. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. Dr. Shealy, I was on the tractor yesterday I took a page out of Hillary Clinton's book.
Oh.
I did. I was doing literally what she does. I was spreading manure. And
the real stuff. Her 6 words.
That's exactly right. So I have this 10-foot by 10-foot piece of what the analogy would be like chain link fence, except it weighs about 500 pounds. And it's made out of half-inch round steel. And it's bent in shapes that forms like these squares. And I pull it with behind the tractor, and I just drive through all these cow pies. And I was going round in circles, and I was doing about 40 acres of this. I only spent a couple hours, so I didn't get much done. But I was working on a 40-acre field so that I could spread the manure so next year's grass would grow not in clumps with green clumps, but it would be uniformly green and better field management and so forth. Anyway, I was thinking, and the word devolve, like evolve, but with a D in front of it, devolve, came to mind. And I was thinking about young people, and I was thinking about how much initiative they have or don't have. I was thinking about how creative they are or are not. And I kept coming back to, I think with the technologies that we are using, for example, we had, in the early days of computers, spell checkers on word processing programs. Then we forgot how to spell. We had calculators before that, and we forgot how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And we have these phones that, will tell us where we are, how to get to where we want to go. It'll tell us about our health, all kinds of things. These little handheld computers with a telephone attached to them can do for us. And I'm wondering, as a result of not using our brains the way we used to, are we literally devolving? Are we in decline mentally, physically?
Well, it could take several generations to prove that. The sins, if I remember correctly, are visited onto the 4th to the 7th generation. And I have predicted now for about 30 plus years that children growing up today are going to be changing their whole occipital lobe, the place that where we integrate vision and imagery, because of the differences. Even though you're still a teenager, were younger, there was still radio. And with radio, you have to create your own images.
Mm-hmm.
But then when television really became the thing, let's say in the early 60s, by that time I suppose the majority were addicted, people no longer had to create the images that went with what they were hearing. And so I think it's got to change the integration, the development. The nerves in the brain are dependent upon input.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't use it, you lose it. So I don't know, but I suspect that by the next generation, at the latest, we ought to see some changes in the occipital lobes, if nowhere else. Probably in the frontal lobes, too, which is where it all ultimately takes place.
It's interesting that you said, use it or lose it. I was talking with Joey, one of our instructors in Michigan, last
Joey.
night.
He's got more stuff than any of us.
Joey's absolutely brilliant. I mean, literally brilliant. He knows more about more than many people do. And he was giving me some guidance, and he's taking me under his wing because we need to buy a bulldozer for our farm. And the reason we need to do this, we want to find a used one that's affordable and that we can use for a while, and if we need to sell it, we can sell it later. And I'm not talking about a $200,000 machine. I'm talking about like a $10,000 machine. And the reason is we have ponds that we need to fix. We have fence lines that we need to fix. We have we want to expand the pasture for sheep and goats and probably camels. So we need to. Yeah. So we need to do that. And he's been helping me find what's called a track loader, which is like a bulldozer with a big bucket scoop in the front. Right. So you can do bulldozing type things, push trees down, scoop out dirt, move dirt. So anyway, he's been a wonderful resource, and I'm on a real steep learning curve about these machines and test driving them and looking at them and those kinds of things. So we were talking last night about use it or lose it, and I mentioned to him that the last time I had a job was in 1989. Formally reporting to duty at the corporate level, and I was a corporate officer several times, and so I had a vocabulary that was commensurate with being in corporate life. And I said to Joey, after I left and jumped off that corporate ladder and started talking to cows, my vocabulary for 10 years, my vocabulary shrank. And I figured another 10 years and the cows and I would be speaking the same language. So I told him that after I got to Missouri and started going, speaking to groups and the meetup and going on the radio, and my vocabulary is slowly returning. And that's the use it or lose it. And I literally said that, this is what happened to me. And of course, spelling, it's so easy to forget how to spell. And it's, I mentioned that when I was growing up, I knew the telephone numbers of my friends. I still know the telephone numbers from the 1960s of my friends. But the telephone numbers of people whom I would dial with a pre-programmed phone, I would just, look up their name, hit dial, and off I go. So I wouldn't use that part of my brain. And that's why I was wondering about the devolving. And it really seems to me that young people are not as interested in innovation. They're not interested in improving things. They're not interested in experimenting with things that are mechanical or electrical. I'm not talking about gadgets now. I'm talking about experimenting with diodes and resistors and capacitors and integrated circuits and, at the level where you actually make something.
Actually,
or woodworking.
It's a kind of hypnotic trance that they live in.
How do we get them out of that?
Well, I don't know, since I have no kids growing up today. I can tell you what it would be if they lived in my house.
Okay, what would that be like?
Cell phones. None. They would have a track phone, which can allow them to make an emergency phone call.
Mm-hmm.
There would be no texting. I don't believe that is a good thing to be addicted to.
Okay, and why is that, Dr. Shealy? I'm not being the devil's advocate. I'd like to know why you say that, because I totally agree with you.
Well, again, it's as I watch these people, when I go to Panera's, often in town, because I go in town to do my radio, or go in town to see patients, and 90% of the time when I'm in town, I'll have lunch at Panera's. And there'll be two people sitting together, texting, not to one another even. You can tell they're not texting one another because of the way they're writing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is losing normal social skill.
Mm-hmm. Besides being rude.
We are having a conversation, right?
Yes.
And although I can look at my computer a little bit on the side, I can't really send a text of any kind of message and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We are having a social interaction. It's not quite as good as if we were sitting personally together, but we're talking. So we have to respond to what the other person says. When you do it in a text message, it's almost like on automation. Well, anyway, I believe that it is not good for the brain.
I also think it's rude, Dr. Shealy. So let's say...
Yes.
Well,
Emily Post would definitely not approve.
Mm-hmm. And Emily Post wrote a book about manners and how to behave and which fork to use and which spoon and how to place your knife on your plate, the proper place to place it after you've used your knife and it's all gooey. So Dr. Shealy, the impolite part that I'm talking about is these two people who are at the Panera Bread restaurant that you're describing. I believe that when one person texts another person while they're having lunch, that's ignoring the person that they're with.
Of course.
Yes, and it's kind of like I was at a restaurant. Mrs. Finelli and I were there, and there were two other couples there, and one of the ladies kind of leaned over and whispered to the other lady and excluded everybody from the discussion. And Mrs. Finelli decided that she didn't want to have anything to do with anyone who would behave like that because it's just impolite to whisper. At least that's what I've been telling our children. There is no whispering whatsoever. And that texting at the table that you're describing, that's the equivalent of whispering. We'll be right back. If you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food, do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Did you know that home break-ins increase more than 100% during the holidays? It takes just 10 seconds for an intruder to kick in your door, but police response to a home alarm system is more than 20 minutes, and intruders are in and out of your home in 5 minutes. Thieves know that you're not home and have presents inside just waiting to be taken. And if you are home, how safe will you feel with an intruder lurking inside with your family? That's why police across the country are recommending you use door armor. Proven to withstand the force of a battering ram, door armor keeps intruders out. It's easy to install and barely visible, and your door armor is guaranteed for life. Go to InvasionStopper.com for a very special buy one, get one at half off deal. These savings are for a limited time and only available to GCN listeners. Protect your valuables and loved ones this holiday season. Go to invasionstopper.com now. That's invasionstopper.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Dr. Shealy, I have an update. I received this from Joey this morning, and it's kind of alarming. Actually, it's very alarming. That's why, even though we're talking about medicine and the body and so forth, I'd like to mention this. The post is from news.yahoo.com. Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia, will no longer recognize concealed carry permits from 25 states. And this is new. So if you have a concealed carry permit, let's say from one state, and you're traveling in the Commonwealth of Virginia, your concealed carry permit would be valid and honored. Well, the 25 states that, and this starts in February 1, 2016, so that's not too long from now. It says the state will cut ties with 25 states, essentially making it illegal for residents of those states to carry guns openly throughout Virginia beginning February 1, 2016, following the state police superintendent's approval. Now, I'm not sure why the state police superintendent's approval is necessary, because I would think that that would be something that would be left up to the government of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Well, here's what it says. The 25 states affected by the policy change include Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Delaware, Florida, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Minnesota, Mississippi, Montana, Nebraska, New Mexico, North Dakota, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Washington State, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Now, it says that...
It recognizes concealed carry from other states?
Well, that's what... Let me continue for just a second. That's a very good question. Reciprocity agreements will remain intact between the Commonwealth of Virginia and West Virginia, Michigan, Oklahoma, Texas, Utah, meaning the residents of those states can carry guns freely while visiting Virginia and vice versa. However, one state was not mentioned that does have reciprocity agreement with the Commonwealth of Virginia, and that's Missouri. So it's silent.
I was wondering where it was.
Right. So this article is silent to that. Now, that's a problem for me. It really is. So I try, for example, to states that don't have reciprocity agreements, because I certainly don't want to be dependent on the police for my safety. I mean, when I see the police, I think I'm not in a safe place. I mean, that's literally the way I feel. So I'll post that on the website, usaprepares.com, during the next commercial break, which is coming up soon, and you'll be able to see that. Dr. Shealy, the phone has been ringing off the hook here at the farm, and I want to apologize to all of those who have been calling us. While I'm on the phone keeps ringing, and we keep getting calls coming in while we're on the phone, and I can only talk to one person at a time. So I want to apologize to all of those who have called here and who have tried to chat with us. It's not like we're ignoring you. It's that we are either on the phone or we're on the tractor taking care of the animals or something like that. So, Dr. Shealy, I ordered some... Oh, before I get into that, you have a new radio show.
Yes, starting January 6th.
Yep, January 6th, Wednesday.
Yep, 2 p.m. our time.
Mm-hmm. And what is the name of your radio show?
Well, it'll be called Shealy Wellness on that particular thing. HealthyLiving.net is the place it'll be.
Okay, so class, if you'd like to listen to Dr. Norman Shealy live, Wednesdays, 2 p.m. Central Time on HealthyLife.net. HealthyLife.net. And I'll put a post on page 1 of USA Prepares, so you'll be able to listen. Dr. Shealy, will you have downloads and podcasts available as well?
Yes, they are archived for 3 months.
Okay. And is there a charge to listen to any of this, or is it just,
No, absolutely free, just like this.
Okay. All right. So if you'd like to listen to Dr. Shealy, you certainly may. You can get more of Dr. Shealy starting January 6th, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Time. HealthyLife.net. And when we come back, I'd like to mention some pH test strips that I just received. I bought them. They were shipped in directly from China. They were very affordable, and I got them 5.5 to 9.0, and let's talk about that and how to use them when we come back.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
We've had an amazing year here at Supernatural Silver. We've truly enjoyed the fantastic response from thousands of people as they've tried our extraordinary product, and we're thrilled at the life-changing results people have. Our company email is continually full of happy, satisfied customers who thank us for the help they've received from Supernatural Silver. This holiday season, as you think of gifts to give your loved ones, consider giving Supernatural Silver, a gift that can help provide good health and wellness, a gift that can change lives and make a real difference. In a world where we are constantly exposed to dangerous health threats, give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance. Give Supernatural Silver. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code HOLIDAY2015 for 20% off. And this holiday season, we wish you and yours the blessings of peace and good health from all of us here at supernaturalsilver.com.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help, so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't pick on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
911, what is your emergency? There's somebody in my house. Hurry, please.
A home break-in happens every 22 seconds. Homes without a security system are up to 3 times more vulnerable to a burglary. That's why there's Simply Safe. In an emergency, our advanced wireless technology alerts police up to 10 times faster, and your connection to emergency services can't be cut because Simply Safe doesn't rely on landlines. Simply Safe costs less than half what traditional companies charge, just $14.99 a month, and there's no commitment to an annual contract. Protect your family with the highest caliber security. Go now to simplysafedefense.com and get 10% off with free shipping and a 3-year warranty. Hurry, and you'll also receive a keychain remote worth $25. Try Simply Safe for a full 60 days. You'll feel confident that your family is safe or your money back. Go to simplysafedefense.com right now. simplysafedefense.com.
Class, Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, and I posted on the website, page 1 of USA Prepares, top of the page, it says, Shealy Wellness with C. Norm Shealy, MD, PhD, starting January 6, 2016. So if you'd like to learn more about that, you certainly may, just to click on the link on page 1 of usaprepares.com. Dr. Shealy, I have in my hand some pH test strips that I bought on the internet very inexpensively. And they're these little packages that are about the size of a pack of matches. And they have multiple test strips in them. And you can use them to determine the pH of your body and of water and so forth. And the scale that I bought, I didn't go from 0 to 14. I wanted some that were more precise than that. So I got 5.5 to 9.0. Can you share with us how we would use those? To see how well we're doing. Yes,
the pH of your saliva ideally would be about 7.4. Now, I wouldn't worry about it at 7.2. When it gets down to 7, you already are the pH of the average water, which means you're deficient in some of the alkaline things, probably sodium or potassium. In the urine, the ideal pH is actually somewhere between 5.5 and 6.0. When it gets to 6.5, you're already increasing your risk of urinary tract infections. In other words, the organisms that like to live and grow in urine prefer a more alkaline background, and so you want to keep your pH of your urine 5.5 to 6.0, and the pH of your saliva, preferably 7.2 to 7.4. Most people are deficient in potassium. And you know why? Because they don't eat veggies. They don't eat veggies. Although you can get potassium out of fruit, some fruits especially. But basically, most of your potassium comes out of vegetables.
Well, and I don't see a lot of people shopping at the vegetable areas of supermarkets as much as I used to back in the 1960s. I see more people shopping in the soda aisle and the candy aisle than I do in the fruits and vegetables aisle. And I wonder if they perceive that as being more expensive or too expensive.
Right. Well, let's face it. The average person eats junk. It's that simple. You know, we've never discussed this, but you know the very simple way, least expensive way to eat increased amount of vegetables? Sprouts. Mung bean sprouts. The easiest thing in the world to sprout. 2 tablespoons of mung beans, plain old normal mung beans. Within 24 hours, we'll produce 4 or 5 tablespoons of delicious and highly nutritious sprouts. And it's so easy to do. So out of very inexpensive 5 pounds, for instance, or let's say 1 pound of mung beans, the raw beans, you can make 10 to 15 pounds of sprouts. And that is a phenomenal way to do it. There are other things you can sprout, but they take more time and more energy than the mung bean.
Well, I'm looking at it on the internet, and I'll put a link. There's an Instructable Sprouting Your Own Sprouts, and it talks about mung beans, and it's spelled M-U-N-G space beans. And this person said they found them at an Indian grocery store for about $1 or a pound or so. So we'll find some pricing and see. But that's great, Dr. Shealy. So how would you you just put these in a?
There is a particular sprouter that is absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
Made by a man up in Canada, and I got hooked into this about 6 or 7 months ago. Tony, and like yesterday, we're having our staff, lunch today for the whole staff for Christmas, and so I took out my mung bean, my sprouter, which will sprout other things, but again, mung bean is so easy. And I put in about 5 or 6 tablespoons of the raw beans, and I just filled it with water to just under the screen, and I set it on the mantle in our living room where it's a little warmer. And when we finish this show, the hour afterwards, I'll be getting lunch ready, and I'll have probably a couple pounds of sprouts. It's that easy.
And how do you eat them? Do you use them in
raw as they are? You can put oil and vinegar over them. You can mix them in any food. It's really amazing how simple they are. And if they want, we do sell the sprouter on my website because I think I've played with sprouting for the last 40 years, and this particular sprouter is infinitely easier than any of the others I've used.
Okay, I'm going to your website right now, Dr. Shealy, and I'm looking for.
You're texting while I'm teasing.
Well, I want to make sure I put the link. I want to make sure I put the link up, and so I'm at Shealy.
Together too, and yes, and we are talking about it. But
Well, I want to make sure that our broadcast class can find the information that they would like to use in their lives and find the products that they should have, and as you recommended this, so I'm on your website, at the click on shop, I take it, right? I see. By the way, I would, class, if you're interested, at Shealy Wellness, you can go to normshealy.com, normshealy.com. There are CDs, DVDs, books, lotions and oils, bath salts, essential oils, magnesium lotion. We certainly use that here at the farm. My mom, my wife, our children use it. Then you have some other items, vitamins, minerals, supplements, and I'm trying to figure out where this would be. Tell you what, well, after the break, we will talk about exactly how to find it on Dr. Shealy's website. Okay, so you have this sprouter. You put the beans in it. You add some pure water, and the next day you've got your sprouts, and you can eat them. You can rinse them off and eat them right then and there, right?
You can mix them in soup. You can mix them in salad. You can eat them as they are.
Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, for those who might be watching educational videos on their screens, and I'm not talking about television, I'm talking about videos that actually can teach you something. That might be a great snack, Dr. Shealy. For those who want to substitute healthy food for something that's not healthy while we're watching the screen and learning. So for those who eat in class, I think that's a great idea. And when you use vinegar, Dr. Shealy, do you use any particular kind of vinegar, like apple cider or wine vinegar or balsamic?
All three.
And what kind? Okay.
Anything except white vinegar. White vinegar is a good disinfectant, but I wouldn't use it in eating.
Okay. When you say disinfectant, you mean external?
Yeah.
To the body? Okay.
Right.
All right. So wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar, and balsamic vinegar those are the vinegars that you recommend. And what about the oil to go with your salad? So, for example, here at the farm, we would use wine vinegar, or we might use apple cider vinegar, or we might use balsamic, the same as you. And we use extra virgin olive oil.
And that's it.
And that's it. That is it. That and whatever goes into the salad. And there might be some raw carrots that we slice or peel or shred. There might be sometimes we might put some cheese in there, Dr. Shealy. Is that okay?
Oh, heavens, yes.
Okay.
I am a cheeseaholic.
Okay. All right. And extra virgin olive oil and one of those vinegars, and we toss it. And sometimes I might put in some pepperoncini, one or two of those. Yeah. And that's pretty much a salad here. I haven't named one of my animals pepperoncini yet, but I have. We had Giacomo Puccini, one of our shepherds, and we had Pagliacci, and so we named some of our animals after some famous people.
Incidentally, I just
Dr.
went
Shealy,
to my site and I typed in sprouter at the top, and it came up immediately.
Okay, let me do that right now.
So
got it. Let's see. Okay, I've got it. So this is very, very simple. And I can see the image of the sprouts developing. So this is a screen. It looks like a stainless type screen, and it sets on a dish, if you will, and it looks like it's easy to clean. Pop that thing in the dishwasher if you want, right?
Oh yeah, actually, I just scrub it out under the faucet. It only takes about 30 seconds.
Okay, there you go. So that's something you might want to put in your preparedness kit, a sprouter. And do you sell the sprouts as well, Dr. Shealy?
Actually, yes. We provide 1 pound of the mung beans with the sprouter.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, and as I'm looking down this page, you have something called a free radical test kit. You get 2 test kits in there, and that was something that I wanted to chat with you about. John Regan and I were on yesterday, and we were talking about free radicals, and we were talking about cancers, and we were talking about how we should talk about what to do about free radicals what they are on this broadcast. So when we come back, can you share with us what free radicals are, how we would test for them, and what we would do to protect ourselves from free radicals? Dr. Norm Shealy is with us, and I'm at the website normshealy.com. By now you know that usaprepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Concerned about harmful contaminants in your water? Look to ProPure, the most trusted name in gravity water filtration systems. ProPure, with the silver-infused Pro 1G 2.0 filter, removes over 200 contaminants, including VOCs, heavy metals, chloramines, pesticides, pharmaceuticals, fluorides, and radiologicals. We don't just say it, we back it up. The Pro 1G 2.0 filter is NSF 42 certified and independently tested to meet NSF 53 and P231 standards. Pro Pure Water, the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. Purchase with confidence in quality, performance, and customer service. Take advantage of our biggest holiday 25% off sale going on now. Visit your authorized Pro Pure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com. Or call 800-544-3533. 800-544-3533.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, libertyoncall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to libertyoncall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's libertyoncall.org.
Do you have difficulty taking supplements? Are you searching for a high-quality, complete nutritional drink that your whole family will love? NutriMedical's Life Support has arrived. All of your daily nutritional requirements in one quick, delicious drink. Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support is a proprietary blend of vegan protein, activated vitamins, essential minerals, amino acids, probiotics, green tea, digestive enzymes, anti-inflammatories, cancer prevention, detoxification, and much more. Your body will high-five you for this one. Life Support is the best complete nutritious meal replacement on the market. Whether you are an elite athlete, have post-operative challenges, chronic illness, elderly, or a family that just wants a quick, delicious drink, try Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support for optimized nutrition in one great tasting smoothie. Just add cold water, almond milk, fruit, or anything else you like. NutriMedical's Life Support. Try our great tasting chocolate or vanilla today. Call 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com. NutriMedical.com for the whole family.
As the cold and flu season approaches, Silver Lungs is ready to help you and your family through the toughest of the year by supporting your immune system and overall health. From our best-selling colloidal silver generating system to our entire line of silver-based skin gels, nasal sprays, soaps, and silver solutions. Silver solutions remain one of nature's most powerful and least expensive antibacterial agents. Now you can produce your own for pennies a day in the comfort of your home using the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. Learn more today at www.silverlungs.com.
Class Dr. Norman Shealy is with us. If you'd like to go to his website, normshealy.com, NORMSHEALY.com. And I just posted the link to the mung bean sprouter that Dr. Shealy was discussing a few moments ago. So if you'd like to see what that looks like, just go to usaprepares.com, page 1, and you'll see it. And if you click on the link, it'll take you right to Dr. Shealy's webpage and right to the sprouter. Dr. Shealy, Captain John Regan and I were discussing free radicals yesterday, and we were talking about Fukushima and the concern about the radiation in the air and in the water and so forth. And I mentioned that, this radiation is falling from the sky. It lands on our fields. It lands in the streams. It lands in the municipal water supplies, the reservoirs, and so forth. And we're likely to consume it. And the man mowing the lawn or the lady mowing the lawn next to you is kicking up the dust and taking that radiation that was in the sky that's landed on our yards and farms and backyards and front yards. And these lawnmowers are kicking it up. I'm kicking up when I'm cutting hay, raking hay, baling hay, feeding hay, going down the dirt road that's in front of our house. As the dust flies, this radiation's going in the air, and we're killing ourselves with it. And so we're talking about free radicals, and what can we do? Well, first of all, can you share with us what free radicals are, and then what do we do about it?
Yeah, free radicals are somewhat like ozone. They're oxygen looking for a home. And so they're very active. Any molecule they touch, they try to take over and grab an electron. And so what they actually do is destroy your cells. The cell wall, every cell in your body has a wall around it, and that wall is made of fat. And when it's killed, naturally, of course, they die off anyway from wear and tear. But any excess stress will kill them faster, and it comes out in your urine as malondialdehyde, MALONDIALDEHYDE. There's a commercial test done in the urine for measuring the amount of free radicals that you're putting out at any one time. Most people are running 3+ to 5+, and what you would like is 0 to 1+. There are only two things that can work. A huge intake of fruits and vegetables can help about 40% reduction. The thing that will reduce the free radicals 80%, and the only thing that I know that will reduce free radicals 80%, is the use of Crystal Bliss every day.
So why would we not want to do that? So
now,
80%.
Such a phenomenal question.
80% reduction.
80%, and we've got people who've done it for 18 months and continued following them. And as long as they stay on the crystal every day, it does keep the free radicals down 80%.
So, Dr. Shealy, with the threat of Fukushima, and John Regan has been explaining what has happened, that there is so much radiation that has been released into our environment from Fukushima, more or as much as all of the nuclear testing that's gone on since the beginning of nuclear testing came out, an equal amount came out from Fukushima, poisoned the entire planet. If we know that's the case, and if we believe that's the case, what is your prescription for not succumbing to radiation poisoning and maybe ultimately death?
Well, I think it is critically important to take adequate iodine. And we better finish this after this break.
Right after the top of the hour news and commercial announcements, let's discuss adequate iodine and what do we do to protect ourselves from the radiation that came from the nuclear reactors and the nuclear submarines and the nuclear testing and all the nuclear devices that man has so carelessly released on us, the villagers. And what do we do about it? What are the best types of iodine to use, how much, and so forth. Dr. Norman Shealy is with us. I'm Vincent Finelli. This is USAPrepares.com. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Hello?
Congratulations.
For what?
For losing all that weight. How'd you do it so fast?
ASAP.
ASAP what? What's that mean?
Are you ready to get as skinny as possible, as soon as possible, as simple as possible, and as sexy as possible?
I'm listening.
Then get with the ASAP program. It's real and it works. No smooth talk, no slick advertising, and no exaggerated claims of success.
I've got to know more.
Welcome to ASAP, as slim as possible. Whether you have 10, 20, or 50 pounds to lose, ASAP is your weight loss answer. ASAP targets the abnormal fat reserves and makes them available to be burned as fuel and contains no caffeine or hormones. Order ASAP at wholesale prices or join the team to share the business with others. Go to GCNteam.com or call 855-GCN-MALL. That's 855-426-6255. GCNteam.com or 855-426-6255. Lose weight and look great with ASAP, as slim as possible.
As the cold and flu season approaches, Silver Lungs is ready to help you and your family through the toughest of the year by supporting your immune system and overall health. From our best-selling colloidal silver generating system to our entire line of silver-based skin gels, nasal sprays, soaps, and silver solutions. Silver solutions remain one of nature's most powerful and least expensive antibacterial agents. Now you can produce your own for pennies a day in the comfort of your home using the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. Learn more today at www.silverlungs.com.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without a Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked, blissed. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Dr. Norman Shealy, medical doctor, is with me for 2 hours on Wednesdays. I'm delighted to be broadcasting with him. And we're following up on hour number 1's discussion about Fukushima and the radiation that has been released into the air and into the oceans. And I'm very concerned about it. And I once mentioned that, and I'm repeating this for effect. Chemistry 101, the professor in front of the classroom said, here's a quart jar of red dye. We'll dump this in the ocean and stir it around. And this is an empty quart jar. And since all the oceans of the world are interconnected, if we stir in that quart of red dye and we take an empty quart jar the same size and scoop out water anywhere in any ocean, bottom, top, left, right, doesn't matter, we'll have at least one atom of red dye. So that's how small atoms are. And radiation, one atom of plutonium in your respiratory system is a death sentence. That being the case, we need to protect ourselves as best we can from airborne radiation. And I mentioned during hour number one that, I'm out there cutting the fields and kicking up the dust with the hay, and the radiation has landed in the fields and the streams and on the roads and on our rooftops. It's everywhere, and your neighbors mowing their lawn, and dust is kicking up, and some of that may have radiation in it, and there it goes airborne, and it's spreading and scattering it, and then the animals eat the grasses and the fruits and the nuts, and they pee and poop, and they spread the radiation in ever increasing circle farther and farther from where they ate it, and it's everywhere, and it's just out of control. So the question for Dr. Shealy is, if you believe that, what do we do to protect ourselves? By the way, Dr. Shealy, do you think that's what I said is reasonably accurate?
Yes.
Okay.
You bet.
Okay.
Well,
so what do we do?
Okay, you do several things. Number one, you keep your immune system strong. And that means you take vitamin D3, 50,000 units once a week. In today's world, I actually believe most people will do better taking 15 milligrams of K2 instead of the 100 micrograms we used to recommend. You need some astaxanthine, a minimum of 10 milligrams a day. You need Kyani Sunset, the tocotrienol vitamin E, 3 of those a day. That's the basic for immune health. Then, I think everybody should start on iodine, 12.5 milligrams once a week. And after a month, go to every other week for the second month. And after that month, forget about what I just said, go to 2 a week. And after the second month, go to 1 every day. You want to go up slowly when you increase your iodine, because it will block the body's thyroid production if you take too much too soon. But in today's world, with a radiation background that exists virtually everywhere now, it is critically important to take some iodine and keep your immune system strong. Now, that's the best you can do. Now, of course, it would be worthwhile checking your free radicals, and if you're the average American, you're going to have an excess, and then I would add Crystal Bliss.
Dr. Shealy, this is kind of frightening for a lot of people to realize that we have poisoned the planet.
Oh, yes.
There's no place to go.
You know what's really interesting, Vince? In 1961, Shardy and I spent 9 months in Australia. I was on a fellowship at the university there. And the book On the Beach came out while I was in Australia. And On the Beach was a novel suggesting that after some kind of extensive nuclear kerfuffle, everybody in the world was dying except a few people who were on the South Beach in Australia. They were the last to go, so to speak. And what we are, looking at is something that could become that, not quite as rapidly as an extensive nuclear war, but it can happen because Fukushima is extensive. And, of course, as usual, all the governments, including Japan, are lying about it.
I was talking with Joey on the phone yesterday, and I mentioned exactly that the book, the video from 1959, On the Beach.
Right.
And I remember, I haven't seen it in decades.
Gosh, did it come up that soon? I didn't read it until 1961. Interesting. I found out about it when I was in Australia.
Mm-hmm. And it's a 1959. It is a video worth watching. It's a book worth reading, and it will probably kind of frighten you about how dangerous nuclear proliferation, radiation is. Dr. Shealy, we've built these machines that produce a byproduct, a radioactive byproduct, and byproducts that we have no way of disposing. And as I was going around on the tractor yesterday, I was thinking about that word disposing. We have created an exhaust, if you will, this pollution from these radioactive plants and radioactive mining and so forth. And when we say disposing, that's like you take out the trash and you put it in a bag, you put it on the curb, or somebody comes and collects it and takes it out of sight. It's not gone. It's just you don't see it anymore. It's still there. They've hauled it to a place, or they've dumped it in the ocean, or they've buried it in a hole, or they've buried it on a mountain and they cover up the mountain and it's an ever-increasing mountain, but it's still there. So there's no way of neutralizing this radiation. It just takes time for it to decay. And that time would be called the half-life, in which half of it is
anywhere from 10,000 to 1,000,000 years or so.
Right. So this is absolutely insane that we're continuing with nuclear power generation.
So I have been saying that since the 50s. But
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I wish everybody had heard you say that.
Well, interestingly, there have been, it's like everything else in government. They never pay attention to common sense or fact.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ignorance is the ignoring of truth. They're not stupid. They are evilly ignorant, purposefully ignorant.
Dr. Shealy, I was at the veterinarian's clinic, and I bought a bottle of triiodine for our animals and for anyone else who needs it. Is that, we talked about this before, if we do not have access to 12.5 milligrams of iodine tablets, is there a way that we could use triiodine liquid with a Q-tip on our skin to
sure.
replace?
Yeah. In fact, it's actually a test of iodine saturation in the body. If you apply a sort of 1-inch circle or square on your abdomen, and it is absorbed right into the body in less than 18 hours, it means you're deficient in iodine.
Now, so are you saying that we would see it disappear? Is there a visual that we would see, or would it have to be a test?
I mean, iodine, if it stays there, if it's still brown the next 18 hours later, it means you are saturated with iodine.
Okay, and if we are saturated with iodine, what does that mean?
That means you're getting enough.
Okay, and if it disappears, then what do we do?
It means you need more. So you could paint yourself every day, and you can absorb it that way.
Okay, so is this the plan then? If that's the route that we choose to take, paint ourselves with one square inch or circle 1 inch in diameter, and see if it disappears within 18 hours. So by the next day, if it's gone, then we should do it again.
Yes.
If it's still there, then we can try it in a few days. Again?
Well, I would keep doing it every. I would keep doing it every day. Oh, if it's still there, then you might do it once a month to find out if you're still saturated.
Okay, and will that give us the same kind of protection that you're talking about with 12.5 milligrams of iodoral or some other kind of tablet like that?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Okay, so it's not like it's not like this is a second. Okay. Alrighty, so it's not like this is a second rate or not the best method. It's just an alternative method that's just as good.
Right, and it is 7%.
Yes.
Instead of 1% combined in the fund.
And if I remember correctly, I got a bottle, and it's either 8 or 16 ounces. I can't remember which.
That's right.
But it was about $11. It was very inexpensive.
Yeah, it's available only from Vet Supply.
Mm-hmm. And so is our advice now that if you think you need it, get it now, Dr. Shealy, before it's harder to get?
Well, can't trust your government to leave anything on the market, so yeah.
Yeah, and we use it on the animals. You know, if we think they have the potential for an infection or they're cut, they get it. Now, they're not crazy about it, but it's good medicine for them. Dr. Shealy and I will be right back right after these few short commercial announcements. Vicki in Nebraska, please hold that line. We will get to you as soon as we come back from these commercial announcements. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
You're fired. According to the Small Business Administration, 75% of small businesses plan to eliminate jobs or reduce workers' hours to part-time. You're fired. According to Gallup, the unemployment rate recently jumped to nearly 9%, and the underemployment rate hit a staggering 17.9%. You're fired. 1 out of 3 young adults and 1 out of 2 recent college graduates are underemployed. Hello, I'm Keith Abel, a pharmacist and a home business entrepreneur. In 2011, I became one of those statistics myself. Instead of looking for another job in corporate America, I joined Dr. Joel Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy. We're creating steady incomes for ourselves and would like to show you how to do the same. If you want to supplement your current income, replace your income, so you don't have to become one of the statistics, then give me a call toll-free at 866-257-3105, 866-257-3105. You're fired. Don't wait till you hear those words. Start creating an extra income today. 866-257-3105.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, Katie Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KATIE. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to katiearmor.com. Come and take it.
You know, Class, that no whining rejoinder, that, when I originally did that 5 years ago, it was aimed at another broadcaster, a mainstream broadcaster. And he would come back after he said it, he'd come back, he'd whine about it 8 minutes later, and then he'd whine about it 8 minutes later, and then he'd whine about it again slightly differently 8 minutes later. And this guy, I think, has the length of time that his audience would pay attention to him is about 8 minutes, because he would either that or they're not very bright, and he'd have to say it over and over and over and over every 8 minutes. So I thought he was really whining, and he didn't have solutions. He would just whine, and that's where no whining comes from. Vicky in Nebraska, welcome. You're on with Dr. Norman Shealy and me.
Hi, Dr. Shealy. I got up like 14 medicines in the past 3 years, and I have 2 left to get off of, chlorine and cumin, and I don't know what to do.
Well, now, this is getting pretty complicated. I would love to be able to give you advice, but actually, this particular, for something this complex, it would be better if you emailed me.
Oh. Do you want me to tell you the whole story?
Well, send a note to Norm at Norm Shealy, Norm, at NORMSHEALY.com.
Okay.
Because weaning from a medicine is not something that is quick.
Well, I know. See, I'm already off of the other stuff. I'm already off of it. But see, I had a stroke in 92, a heart attack in 2001, and pneumonia in 2013, I think, and getting off these pills in the last 3 years or 3.5 years, and now this wake up. So I've been down 5 times in my life. I've been knocked down.
Right, I understand. And again, for something this complex, it's not something I can give you an answer to in 1 or 2 sentences.
Well, I understand that.
But I do give advice, know, and if you're willing to email me, Norm at NormShealy.com,
okay.
I'll send you my recommendation.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Sorry,
Vicky,
I just don't want to make a... it probably would take me 15 minutes or more online, here on the phone, and I want to be sure you understand what I'm recommending.
Okay, that's fine.
Vicky, do you have the internet for an email to Dr. Shealy?
Yeah, I get his little thing he sends every day.
His newsletters?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Good.
Okay.
Well, I'm delighted to give you an opinion, so just send me an email, and I will get to it. It may not be till Saturday, but I will get to it.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for calling me.
Vicky, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Dr. Shealy, she said she had pneumonia, she had a heart attack, she had a stroke. Those are one of the things that I wanted to ask you about. I was on the phone this morning with Miles from Europe. He called me before the broadcast, and we were talking about strokes. And I thought, that's something that we hear the term a lot, but how many people actually know what a stroke really is? So can you share with us what a stroke is and what it does, and what we need to do about it if we think someone's having one or had one?
2 standard, if you will, types of stroke. One is in which a blood vessel, an artery in the brain clots off. It just, it's like a heart attack. Some little part of the brain is killed, dies because of loss of blood supply. The other one is when that artery ruptures. It can actually cause a hemorrhage, and that sometimes is much more serious because depending upon the amount of blood that occurs before it clots off, it can cause a huge, space to take place. and put people even into deep coma. Regular stroke with loss of an artery most of the time causes paralysis on the, let's say, the opposite side of the body. So it will paralyze the arm and leg, etc. If it
Hold that thought, Dr. Shealy. We're going to another break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
If you or someone you care about loves outdoor adventure, then check out slingbow.com for some unique holiday gift ideas. That's slingbow.com, where we have some innovative new products for the archer, hunter, or bow fishing enthusiast in your family. Now through January, use the promo code HOLIDAY to get free shipping in the U.S. or Canada. And from all of us at Slingbow Industries, have a safe, joyous, and peaceful holiday season. So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Geico applauds your inner park ranger.
Mother Nature appreciates the part of you that knows the difference between the red-bellied and the three-toed woodpecker. Geico also has specialized agents who admire your gusto for the great outdoors. Agents who help with more than just car insurance. These Geico agents can insure the RV that will take you and the whole family cross-country. The RV that makes National Forest synonymous with happy place. So what are you waiting for? 180 types of woodpeckers are ready to be identified.
Geico for your RV. See how much you could save.
Get your Plenty card at Exxon or Mobil and start earning points at lots of places.
So I get points for filling up at Exxon?
You sure do.
What about getting coffee at Mobil?
Points.
Streaming TV shows on Hulu?
Definitely.
Points on my AT&T wireless bill?
Yep.
Buying soap?
At Rite Aid.
Buying you a birthday present?
Points at Macy's.
Visiting your parents?
No. You get marriage points.
Oh.
Exxon and Mobil are the only fuel brands that are part of Plenty, the rewards program that lets you earn points at one place and use them at another. Join Plenty for free through a participating Exxon or Mobil station today. Terms and limitations apply. See plenty.com/partners for details.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Winter has just begun, and are you already tired of being cold? How would you like to never be cold again? This is Dale with Fortress Clothing, and I'm here to tell you, you will never be cold again with Fortress. If you're tired of freezing your butt off, elk hunting, sitting in a tree stand, deer hunting, winter camping, fishing, ice fishing, no longer fear the cold. If you snowmobile, ski, snowboard, get Fortress. Sledding with the kids, shoveling the walks, shopping, or if you or your spouse get cold feet at home, get Fortress. If you're stuck outside working in the cold or find yourself in an emergency situation, get our winter bug out bag and you will never be cold again. Fortress is the answer, so quit complaining and go to fortressclothing.com. It's a mid-layer garment that goes with anything you want to wear. Enter coupon code RADIO and get 20% off any item. Go now while we still have inventory. fortressclothing.com.
Class, Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, and I'd like to just take a few seconds to thank all of you in our broadcast classroom for being with us over the years. And I'd like to thank Dr. Norman Shealy for being with me for years. And Dr. Shealy is the man who enabled me to take the foam rubber from between my knees so you wouldn't hear my knees knocking at the microphone. You hear this bang, 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 bang. That'd be my knees knocking. And he introduced us to Bliss and mentored me and encouraged me and stayed with me so that I could learn how to do a little bit better job at broadcasting. And I really appreciate all of your advice and counsel, Dr. Shealy, and I mean that.
Well, Vince, it's been what I would call a mutually fun experience. We have lots of laughs together, and you've taught me a lot about being prepared, et cetera, et cetera.
Would you care to share what it was like the first time you saw me in the studio in Springfield?
Well, you were
I think you felt sorry for me.
You were a little nervous. I've been doing this show for maybe over 20 years when we met, and you walked in and said you were going to be doing the next show, and you looked a little nervous. So I just happened to have with me a bottle of Air Bliss. Mm-hmm. And I suggested that it might help you calm down. And interestingly, you are the most sensitive person I've ever tested it on. You just have to put it on one point, Hoku, the point between the thumb and the index finger on each side, and it does for you what it does for everybody else when they put it on 13 points.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And I don't know if I'm conveying this message, but when I put Bliss on, literally within a couple seconds, and I'm not exaggerating that couple of seconds. I mean a couple of seconds. I'm grinning from ear to ear, and
hey, what we should tell them about is the day that we put on all 5 oils for all 13 points for each ring except 12 for fire, and what happened to you for the next 5 or 6 hours.
Well, why don't you share that, Dr. Shealy? Because you were witnessing it. I was there. But,
well, you were physically there, but mentally functioning. I had told you in advance you had to come bring somebody with you to drive home because I knew you wouldn't be able to drive home.
You're absolutely right.
But it was almost anesthetic for you.
Yes. We were talking about strokes, and what do we do? Well, how do we recognize a stroke, Dr. Shealy, and is time of the essence when we recognize
people
one?
have trouble speaking, that is the number one thing to be worried about. If they suddenly lose the ability to speak or start mumbling incoherently, etc., the face is often paralyzed on one side. In a bad stroke, there may be total paralysis of the arm and the leg on the opposite side from where the stroke is taking place. Now, if it takes place in the left brain, the right arm and leg will be paralyzed, and that's when your speech is likely to be gone. Mm-hmm. And then there's things that are called TIAs, transient ischemic attacks, where maybe a teeny little artery got lost or spasm in an artery took place, and it just caused a temporary, and usually those are relatively minor, maybe a few minutes in length, maybe an hour in length. But if they actually become unconscious, of course, that's a big stroke, and that could be, again, even with total paralysis on the outside of the body, it could be from a clot in the middle cerebral artery, or from a hemorrhage from some branch of any of the arteries in the brain. I mean, those are ordinarily what we call strokes. Now, severe head injuries can cause similar things or worse, but the suddenly out of the blue, while you're not doing anything, not necessarily hitting your head or, doing anything unusual, sudden paralysis, sudden loss of speech, sudden loss of consciousness, all of those things are possible means of a stroke. And of course that means so-called atherosclerosis, or quote, hardening of the arteries. Now, I'm not going to know for at least another day whether what I am doing is working. But as you may know, for the last, many months now, I've been doing what I call PEMF chelation, using Lou Cassidy's particular pulse electromagnetic field device, plus crushed sapphire crystal. And yesterday, I had my follow-up calcium score, which is a CAT scan of the heart, to tell you whether you are have calcium deposits in the arteries of your heart. And I'm hoping that I'll get the report by tomorrow at the latest, and that it will show significant decrease in the calcium, which means that I have chelated out some of the deposits of calcium in the arteries of my heart. Almost 100% of people, not 100, but almost 100% of people by age 50 have some degree of calcium deposits in the arteries of the heart after age 50. And those are, they could go on for another 30, 40, 50 years before it clots off totally, or closes off totally. But it is certainly worth knowing and thinking about. And if the report is positive, we'll talk about it on a future show.
Dr. Shealy, are we talking about pink slipping some surgeons?
Well, let's put it this way. The cardiac surgeons are not going to like me.
That's what I mean.
Yes. And you know that I consider coronary artery bypass surgery one of the greatest boondoggles, false, wrong, seriously dangerous, negative operations, medical procedures in the world. It does not prolong life. It does get rid of angina pectoris, heart pain, because they destroy the nerve supply to the heart while doing it. But it doesn't prolong life. Now, there is a procedure that they don't do because it's too inexpensive, only $3,500 instead of $150,000, called ECP, external counterpulsation, where essentially they put a pressure suit over the lower part of the bodies and pump it 5 days a week for 7 weeks. And that has extreme improvement. Excellent, wonderful. Activates your stem cells, makes you, but you do have to go in 5 days a week for 7 weeks. Nevertheless, it's safe, relatively inexpensive, and it works. And the cardiac surgeons have bamboozled Medicare into paying for cardiac bypass surgery unless the patient's too sick to get the surgery. Then they will do ECP. Now, if ECP is good enough if you're too sick to get coronary bypass surgery, it sure must be superior anytime you've got coronary artery disease.
Dr. Shealy, as you describe this, why would somebody not try this first? This seems to me like it'd be the first option.
It's called greed and stupidity.
Since you mentioned,
it's part of my soapbox, but I really do think coronary bypass surgery is one of the worst things that was ever introduced. In fact, I've said this for 40 years or more. I'm threatened to have tattooed on my chest, "Do not open."
Except you won't be tattooed, right? Except for that.
That's right. That's the problem.
Dr. Shealy, since you mentioned greed, I was reading this article, and I wasn't sure if it was something that we should talk about today or not, but here it is. There's this man, a father, his name is George Pickering II, and he took a gun into Houston's Tomball Regional Medical Center to spend a few more hours with his son, George Pickering III. And the hospital said that his son was brain dead after he suffered a huge stroke earlier that month. And the doctor and the family and his father's doctors and the patient's family were going to terminally weaning their son off life support. So they were going to kill him. And so the father went into the son's room and he had a standoff with the police. And during this standoff, his son squeezed his hand. And the father said, the son squeezed my hand, he's going to recover. And he did. So the man was being weaned off life support. They were going to harvest his organs. They were going to sell him to whomever was on the list or the highest bidder or however that works. They were going to piece out this man's son. And he'd be parted out as a junkyard parts out cars and trucks, except in a hospital. And so the man was arrested. The father was arrested for saving his son's life because he had to do it at gunpoint because they were going to kill his son. Now, I have to tell you that I don't know if I would do anything any differently from what that man did if my son were in that position. And when we come back, can we talk a little bit about this when hospitals say, well, your family member, well, we're gonna cut him up and harvest his organs and because he's brain dead and maybe he's not.
Oh, Beth. I hope people understand why I love you.
We'll be right back.
As I am.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and bad tweets can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? Reputation.com can protect your good name. Get a free consultation now at 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from Reputation.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares Unfiltered and Untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares Untapped and Off the Grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Class Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, normshealy.com, and if you'd like to go to his website, normshealy.com, normshealy.com. There's a post on page 1 of USA Prepares. It'll take you to his website if you'd like, and he's always listed on the instructors tab at usaprepares.com. Deborah, just hold the line for just a second. I wanted to get Dr. Shealy's response to. So this man held the hospital off from terminating his son's life and harvesting his organs because he thought that there was a chance that his son might come back to life, become conscious and recover, and he did. And so this man got arrested for saving his son's life. How do you feel about hospitals terminating lives like that? What are your medical thoughts?
Well, theoretically, it is against the law. They should have the family's permission. Now, you may remember, I often say we can't tell whether you're dead or alive without going to Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. There was that infamous case out of Florida where the husband, who legally was responsible for the wife who had been in coma for some years, wanted to terminate, and the rest of the family didn't, and eventually went to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court actually gave permission to terminate. I don't want ever to be in that position again. As a neurosurgeon, I was certainly in that position sometimes. But in general, the family must give permission once life-sustaining, procedures have been instituted. They're supposed to be terminated only with the family's permission.
Deborah in Kentucky, you're on the air with Dr. Norman Shealy and me. Welcome.
Wanted to wish the both of you and your respective families a beautiful Christmas.
Well, thank you, Deborah.
And please know that you are absolutely loved and respected from my heart to yours, and I'm sure that I'm speaking for many of us that are here most of the time.
Well, blessings to you and to all of our listeners, but thank you.
Deborah, I really appreciate that.
No, I'm going to save those for next time. I just wanted to say what I've said.
Well, that's
Deborah,
wonderful.
Thank you for such kind words. Dr. Shealy, I've been referring to this time of year as the marketing season. There's so many...
I agree.
And there's so many commercials, hurry, got to buy this. TVs are going fast. And so these marketeers are trying to convince us to buy things we don't want because we don't need them with money that, as John Regan would say, with money that we don't have. And the marketing season ends on Christmas Day. And Christmas is not marketing to me. Christmas is there's a reason for Christmas, and I'd like to wish all of our broadcast classroom a wonderful Christmas. The reason for Christmas, it's not present day, and as a matter of fact, I had a great difficulty buying Christmas cards for that weren't like Happy Tree Day, Happy Presents Day, Happy Santa Day, gifts, Happy Gift Day, whatever. There are very, very few Christmas cards that had phrases written that I thought were germane to Christmas, the reason for Christmas. And it's not the sale season. And Dr. Shealy, Christmas this year is different. I don't see as much of the Christmas spirit. It's not like it was in the past. Even the stores are showing less traffic. And I hope that many of our class invite people to their homes who might not have any place to go. That's what we have done. And we're looking forward to a wonderful Christmas fellowship get-together, the reason for Christmas. And please consider opening your home up to someone who might have no place to go. It's very sad.
As usual, Ben, you said it the way it needs to be said. Remember, it is Mass on Christmas Eve. It is Christmas.
There you go. Dr. Shealy, I just want to express our love for you. Thank you so much for being with us.
You, Vince, and your family. Have a good
one. Now you know that USAprepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
As your body ages, there's a 10% decline in your ability to repair each passing decade after the age 28. By age 40, your ability to repair from demanding manual labor, exercise, or a stressful desk job has declined by 12%. By using One World Whey, you supercharge your body's ability to repair and eliminate inflammation. Our unique frequency-encoded whey protein, coupled with our high-quality whey, improves your cell's ability to make protein, which is to say, repair itself.
My name is Jonathan Wright, and I'm 40 years old. I recently went from a desk job to a manual labor job. Normally, I'm worn out. With energy-enhanced One World Whey, I now recover so quickly that I can perform very hard work all day long. I use energy-enhanced One World Whey for breakfast and lunch, and I experience less hunger throughout the day. I have a 30% increase in energy, and I just feel better. I plan to make energy-enhanced One World Whey a permanent part of my lifestyle.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld, WHEY.com.